All right, here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. Central. I am your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Joey, Jesus, what the fuck, Johnson. What's up, Joey?
I actually wrote down that quote, and I say that constantly. That's my good night prayer, actually.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best parts of the movie. It fucking killed it. Next, we got Jay. A man never leaves a friend behind. McClintock. Jay, how are you, sir?
I am well.
Fuck yeah, welcome to the cast. Next, we got Alex. Even the papers call him the grabber. Roughton. Alex, how are you, sir? That face is saying it all. Yes, that's this face right there. It's an audio podcast. You got to say something. Or I will have to describe it.
I have the unpopular opinion this show, so I'm gonna save it.
Cool. Yeah, let's wait on it. Next, we got David. You're going to have to stand up for yourself one of these days. Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
I'm great. This movie triggered me when I saw it, and I can't wait to relive my pain and suffering for you guys.
They triggered me in some points too, but not the kidnapping part. So I'm intrigued to see what triggered you. And finally, we have Raph. He was an idiot, but he was my idiot. Ramirez. Raph, how are you, sir?
You fuck with Finnegan, you fuck with me. Or I fuck with you, I fuck that one up. Damn it.
It's okay, man. Don't feel like you're a cuntwad, which was the word used in this. I never heard when I was a kid. Cuntwad. I was like, that was a good one. Guys, what's
These
the
kids
Black
were
Phone?
very 70s.
It was very 70s. The guys, we watched The Black Phone. Release date September 25th, 2021. Actual this year, June 24th, 2022, because they moved it back. It had such a good reception. They were going to release it in January, but they decided to do a summer release. Running time, 103 minutes. Budget, 16 to 18 million, with a box office of 130 million. Woo!
Whoa!
It had made back its money. All right, synopsis. After being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, a 13-year-old boy starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. All right, and we also got Miles, the Need to See Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Francis, Miles, how are you, sir?
Sorry, I'm late. I just had to answer my old landline that hasn't been connected for decades, but just keeps ringing for some reason.
Insanity.
You hear it too?
All right, let's watch a trailer, at least a bit of a trailer. So let's see what we got going on. There he is right there, ladies and gentlemen. The Ethan Hawke, the grabber himself. All right. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
The flyer. The papers call him the grabber. I wish you
Oh no, the
I
flyer.
don't actually believe that story.
The papers call him the
Because he can't
flyer.
hear you, and he doesn't really take
Papers
you
were a
big deal in the 70s.
I mean, even in the 90s, dude. Shit.
Anybody else think she was gonna get napped first?
You goof.
No.
Wasn't that just
No.
She's too obnoxious. She's way too obnoxious. He'd be like,
What
nah,
the-
I'm
she's
good.
the best character in the movie, sir. Who's
She was the
obnoxious?
She's the toughest
She's
character.
good. She's good obnoxious, but she's obnoxious.
Are those macarons in there? Would you like to see a magic trick?
Nah, nigga.
Nah, I'm good.
I have an announcement to make. One of our students, Finney Blake, was abducted.
This wasn't in the movie.
What if I could help the police find Finney?
No, that wasn't in the movie. There was some
Also,
weird
I love that she prayed in front of like a wooden Jesus fish.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
It's called an ectus.
Doesn't work. Not since I was a kid.
Blumhouse knows how to cut a trailer, I'll tell you
This
what.
face.
Daddy, I had a dream about it.
It's
They don't know
Raph.
how to cut a fucking film.
He was taken.
By man with.
Ooh.
Yes.
We never released those details.
All right, that's enough of the trailer.
All right,
It's
thank
2.5 minutes long, so we'll keep going with that. Guys, let's talk our history first. Me and Miles, we get to go first because we saw this bitch early. That's right, we got early screening tickets. We saw it, what, 2 days early, Miles? Is that right?
Something like that. But yeah, the weird part was we were at like North Park Mall, which is like the wealthiest of malls, and this was the most ghetto theater experience we've had in a minute, dude.
It was.
We got nachos, and like after Ducky ordered them, they're like, "Sorry, we don't have any cheese." So it's
I was like, "Do you like nachos, Miles, without cheese?"
I just paid
He's like,
$10 for
Yeah.
chips, dude.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then we almost didn't get into the movie they overbooked it with free tickets, but the press didn't show up, so we got to be the press that night.
They papered the room.
Yeah. Only people actually showed, so it's like the opposite of comedy.
Yeah. It was crazy packed. It was fun. And plus, Miles offered me acid before we went. I didn't take it, but as we watched the movies, I thought Miles had taken it, so I kept worrying about him because there was some intense stuff.
I didn't want to go alone, man. I thought it'd been a fun like bonding experience for me and Ducky, but he wasn't cool about it. So.
I was like, no, thank you, no, thank you. I finally got back.
I didn't want to bond with that like rickety ass seat I was in.
Yeah, dude. And then the opening part where it does like all the credits and stuff like that, and it's really intense and like sounds and like visually, and I'm like, Miles has got to be freaking out. And I'm like, are you okay at the end of it? And he's like, dude, I didn't even take the acid. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Whatever. All right, did anyone else see it in theaters? Anyone else see it in Peacock when it came out? You saw it in theaters, David? What'd you think?
I saw it on Sunday of opening weekend, and yeah, it was really fun, man. It was fun reliving horrific experiences in my past.
Jesus Christ.
Did you identify more with the child or the grabber character?
I identified as the little girl.
Really? Explain.
ESP.
Well, because my friend was he disappeared and then was later found murdered.
Holy shit.
The whole well, it's why I do creepy dolls. But the whole thing, the thing of her praying, asking for, help, basically, is what I did for 2 weeks until we found his body.
Oh my God.
And I was, dude, it just hit me so fucking hard. Like I had thought I had dealt with all that shit, and then when that happened, and his murder is still unsolved, even though we never did it. But she lawyered up. Anyway, so that really hit me hard. And then the other scene that really hit me hard was the father abusing the daughter.
Yeah.
I didn't get abused like that, but my stepbrother did. My stepbrother got the brunt of my father's wrath.
Oh my
God. I saw that a lot as a kid. So yeah, this movie fucked me up, man. But I liked it.
Then I made you watch it again. Good old times. You should have said something.
I had some issues with the some of the editing and pacing, but overall I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anyone else got history with the movie?
I went and saw it in theaters. In terms of trauma, I don't have anything that deep. I did play college baseball, and the opening scene, he has the kid down 0-2 strikes, and then throws a fastball right up the middle. I mean, Finney, whatever, he's a liability to his fucking team. All right? they're better off. That's where you throw a junk ball. That's a curveball out of the zone pitch right there. I mean, his arm may be mint, but his decision making's terrible. So.
Anyone else see it theaters or Peacock when it came out?
I saw it in theaters. I saw it the Thursday opening weekend. So yeah, I saw it. I think I told you guys about this. I actually got left at the zoo when I was 6 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I could have been a statistic, but luckily I wasn't, and here I am today. But I actually did not get triggered too much by that correlation. I didn't even think about it really until a couple weeks ago.
It's so weird. I thought about it while watching it. I was like, Jay's story about being left at the zoo. I was like, that, and like in the 90s, let's face it, like I know before that too, it was happening. 80s, yeah, you're right. More in the 80s, there was a lot about children being kidnapped. And I remember in the 90s, and now we just worry about children shooting up their schools. So it's fucking weird now. Anyhow,
we could use more kidnapping.
Yeah. Bring it back. Yeah, bring it back, definitely.
The grabber would be like a hero.
He's the new Marvel
more
superhero
difficult now because of technology. It's a lot more difficult. I'm in a serial killer support group, and everyone laments about technology, how it's ruined it, and we always talk about the glory days of the 70s.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, guys, let's get into conversation about the movie. Yeah, is the little girl obnoxious, or is she a bad actress, or is she a great actress? That's where I want to begin, because I think she's really good sometimes, and then sometimes when the line delivery is way fucking off. And Miles, you said that you think she's the best actress in this movie, or actor.
I said she's the best character in this movie. I didn't notice any offensively bad line reads, though, if I'm being honest. I mean, I wasn't on acid, so I might not have been in the right mindset to critique a film, but Yeah,
I
thought
would
she was
agree
good.
with Miles that she was
I
the
do
best.
think some of the dialogue writing was just off. Like some of the writing was super weird. I will say though, I did write other than the obvious slurs. I wrote down the best name calling that was thrown out there. We already said cuntwad. You had fart knockers. You had Noid. You had dickweed. You had cocksucking cowards and ugly ass face.
And this is
And
where
were
I
those
think
all delivered by her? Like all of those lines were her lines?
Noid and dickweed were the bullies, but cocksucking coward, I think
And
ugly
fart
ass
knocker.
face, fart knocker. Yeah, that was all her.
And don't forget, the writer of this movie, or well, at least the book, is the son of Stephen King. So when I know he takes his books to Stephen King and goes, "Can you edit it?" And Stephen King loves using those interesting curse words, so I'm sure that was his introduction.
Especially kids using those curse words.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, his
I've
dad was
noticed
like, you know,
this,
this needs a bunch of kids like jerking each other off.
I
and
was
then
gonna say,
having an
dude, if
orgy
King
with a
wrote it,
girl.
it'd be an orgy in that fucking
Yeah.
basement for sure.
Those kids would have fucked.
Yeah.
Ghost orgy, like 30 minutes of the film.
That's a different naughty boy. Naughty boys.
You have to wait for the European release for that.
Oh my God, VHS naughties. Nasties, I guess it is. Yeah, I think she's really good. I love the idea of the children having these supernatural powers. I thought that was really cool, and the way they played with that, and that scene with Raph, that was really, really good. Because I'm telling you, dude, that guy, he's also in Hannibal, Rising. He's also in a bunch of other stuff. He's an amazing character actor. But like his acting is so good in this movie, the father, because he is drunk, but he is a functioning alcoholic. You know what I mean? And so every time he's talking, he's drunk, but he's just on the edge of keeping his words from slurring. And I thought that was amazing acting. But when he has that scene where he talks about the mother being able to see things in her dreams, and eventually they led to terrible things, I thought that was very powerful. But to see that both of the children got that power in some way or form, you know, it's what saves them. They work as a team to save each other, you know. I thought that was pretty cool.
I do think it's weird that his character takes a complete 180 in how he grieves, because he's like because of the wife like situation. You find out he's grieving her suicide and he's this violent drunk, but as soon as his kid gets kidnapped, suddenly he's this empathetic great father. I guess because maybe it's happening in that moment, but I didn't really like the whole 180 of the character just immediately. Because here's the thing, it's like any good horror movie, I really like endings that don't end happy, right? In a horror movie, or some kind of like where it ends like you think it's going to be good and it's not. And it's kind of funny, like, yeah, the kid's rescued, but he still has to go back to like an abusive drunk dad.
Yeah.
Like,
And
nothing
that's
changed.
I think with a functioning alcoholic situation, that's kind of the norm. I've got plenty of friends that are part of like Al-Anon and whatnot, and it's very normal, at least what they tell me, is, you know, you deal with a abusive alcoholic parent, and then the next day it's like Disneyland. Like all of a sudden they're a completely different person. I thought that actually gave it a little bit more gravitas, because that does happen a lot. Because I mean, he's a single dad with 2 kids, and you know, he definitely needs something to kind of take his edge off in his mind. And so, like, that abuse part was that was rough. Because I mean, I you know, child of the '80s, a lot of us got the whip, so we know what it's like. But then you see, like, afterwards, they almost have to give you love to some extent to kind of wash away their pain.
Well, and that's also you see the fear of the children. They're very afraid of the father. Like in that opening scene where they're afraid to make noise, he's like, "Could you slurp any louder?" or whatever he says.
Drops the bread box or whatever.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, but I agreed with him with that one.
You did with the slurping?
Fucking cereal like that.
Oh man!
What's interesting is I you know, watching the abuse scene. It was awful, but like to people like our parents, they would watch that and be like, "And what's the problem?"
Yeah.
Like that's how you.
He doesn't hold his belt with the right figure.
Exactly. That's just how you raise kids back then. But now we look at it and we're like, "Fuck, call the police." Who else wanted him to get some kind of like comeuppance though? I feel like he kind of got off scot-free.
I mean,
like there should have been something that happened to him, because that was such a brutal scene.
His kids already see ghosts. That's fucking brutal enough.
Yeah, right.
Well,
yeah, he did have a wife. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say back to her acting though. I mean, her crying in that fucking scene felt very, very real.
Yeah.
Like the stuttering and the kind of like almost hiccup cry type thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
built that. I mean, that was
Very
definitely
believable.
Dude, actually,
Compared
I
to
wanted to
his
go.
crying at the end.
I still wanted to go back to that, Doug. Where did you want to point out that she wasn't a good actress?
Oh no, no,
Like,
no! I said she runs the gamut from being really
Oh.
good to like some of her line delivery is just terrible. It's very.
And I
Like,
feel
okay, so
like-
where are those points? Because like everything we've talked about so far, like Joey just pointed out, dude, that crying, like that felt like.
Oh no, I was
I've
totally
cried
on
like
board.
that.
I totally think that she can be great. I think it's a lot like Harry Potter, the first couple movies, where the kids just delivered certain lines really weird and very flat. And so I couldn't specify certain lines that she did it, but like there were lines. Whereas Finney, the character, he is pretty consistent across the board. Like you feel like his pain. Go ahead, Raph. What did you think? You didn't think
He has probably some of the worst lines at the end. They weren't consistent either, and his crying was the worst thing.
Yeah, you're right. His crying was pretty bad.
I was like, bro, you need to take a lesson from that girl because she did pretty damn good.
I have a theory about her acting at the beginning. I thought it was pretty horrible, but what I really realized is that she's playing that character who's got such bravado and charisma, but it's masking trauma that she's terrified to go home to. And when I see that, it makes me go, oh, now that's why she's always acting so 10 feet tall and bulletproof. She's totally.
It's very funny. A manager of a comedy club would notice that. You see a lot of that.
You see a lot of what?
Me and my first 5 years.
No, a lot of
comedy.
people masking trauma with the 10 feet tall attitude. Jay sees a lot of that. I mean, that's. I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's therapy. It's therapy. I mean, but you see, this is her therapy. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, she's not a terrible actress. She's a scared young child.
Yep. She's
And
trying
that's
to
how
put
she
on
goes.
this mask of being a badass when
So-
in reality she's terrified of going home.
So my question is, 4 kids have been kidnapped so far within the area, pretty close area. It seems like maybe within the same school district, or if not, just maybe 2 neighboring ones. Yet they're still letting their children walk to school day in and day out without chaperones. They haven't formed some kind of like that part I didn't understand. I was like, these kids are still running free. Maybe it was just back in the day that's what happened, but like,
they're pretty cavalier with
Duff.
their bike riding.
Yeah.
Like the one kid riding behind like the warehouse district by himself. Like, yeah, he's a fighter and all, but like, come on.
Yeah.
You're right, Duck, because when they was it back in the Atlanta child murders, when that was going on, like they had really strict ways of kids moving around. They didn't let the kids go out by themselves and everything. So that's a good point.
Yeah, that part didn't make much sense to me, but I was like, okay, I get it. It's a movie and we got to move on. But I mean, the movie gets going pretty quick, and once they get Finney into the basement, that's when things really kind of step back, and like every detail becomes important. And that's what this movie's about, is every detail stacks upon each other. And he was the one with the supernatural power to be able to hear the phone ringing. Evidently it had been ringing for a while, you know. And
No one could hear it.
I love the fact that the grabber says, you know, I thought I heard the phone ringing once. Scariest thing, I picked it up. Static electricity must have made it happen. I thought that it was great that there's an excuse for it, you know. And my question is, did he go through the same trauma when he was a child? Because he said the same thing about being in the basement. So it made me wonder if he was abused as a child, and that's why he grew up to be an abuser. I didn't know.
So I
Makes
think
total sense.
So I think his father also knew he had ESP, threw him down there, and then he was freaking out, grew up crooked or messed up, and then that's why he started doing this to the kids. Trying to get an answer. I don't know what kind of answer he was trying to get, but yeah, he could hear the phone too. I believe Ethan Hawke also had the ESP.
Or his could be just the trauma and he's hearing it and doesn't have the ESP. You know what I mean though?
It's more like CTE.
It could just be his brain playing the tricks on him. Meanwhile, the actual Finney or whatever actually had the ESP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they didn't have that in common because he can't hear anything when he answers that phone.
That's what I was kind
of.
No, he can hear static though, so that's still the line there. It's disconnected. So.
Yeah, I was kind of curious to that, if he'd been abused also and he became an abuser. But then again, his brother seems to be doing fine with his coke addict.
Not fine at all. Not fine at all.
That was awesome. All right, whenever
I
the
love
cops
that
They
show
should have
up,
just cast Charlie Day in that role.
yeah,
though,
that would've
honestly.
been, yeah, it was that would have been perfect
Awesome.
casting. But whenever the cops show up and they're like, "You better clean up in here," and then they leave, and then when he looks down at the coke and he's like, "Shit," and then he does a line. Me and Miles were both like, "Yeah,
Hilarious.
get that coke." Fuck yeah.
We would have all done that line.
Way to clean up, dude.
Yeah. Very nicely done, just like a Hoover. So go ahead, David.
So I have a question, and I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you guys can help me out. One of the things that I got confused about was when Finney broke the window. Remember, he pulled it out.
Why didn't
there
he?
was no
Yes.
There was no resolution to that, and Ethan Hawke's character never,
Never
discovered
noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because he was so. Soundproof. I'll give it to
Soundproof.
that. But at the
Also,
same time,
can we say that? Can we just say that ropes don't work like that?
It was a cable.
You can't just feed a fucking robot.
And then it goes
like
back
that. That shit
around.
would just back down.
That was a
It
magic
was
trick.
a 70s
What?
cable. 70s cable.
It
Much
was a
stronger.
cable. It
They
was
were
stiff.
stronger back then and more racist.
yeah.
Speaking of, there's a serious lack of racial slurs in Black Phone.
Wait, what? What a profound cross the
for being
dial.
the 70s. No, forget the 70s. Kids were way more racist in the 70s.
my
Well, they
God.
said fag. Weren't you happy with fag? You
Yeah.
got one of those.
We're
That's
too
not racist.
happy. Mark that. Mark that.
Yeah, dude. Wait, what race is that discriminating against?
I know.
Actually,
At the
Yeah,
beginning, one of the
which
kids.
race does that affect?
He
Oh.
did call that kid a beaner, and then
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
erotic.
Okay, first of all, have any of y'all ever seen the Bad News Bears, the original?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you knew what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Same time period.
It's weird because if you look at the credits, Quentin Tarantino did get a co-writing credit for Bad News Bears.
At 11 years old.
the only thing is he wasn't going to call it Black Phone.
Joey for the win.
Nice.
So the grate. Let's go back to that. David said, "What happened to the grate?" The grate actually was down in the hole, and it's what breaks the grabber's leg. So I don't know if you
great.
saw it down in the hole.
That's
I
what
wondered the
I'm
same thing. My second question is, why didn't he grab the carpets and try to shimmy up them? Because obviously that would work. He does say
Yeah.
that he tried that.
Okay.
At one point, he said
We
that.
just didn't see it.
Yeah. we
Why
just
didn't
see
he
Gotcha.
break the bottle and use it as a shank? That would have been my first.
Hell
I
yeah.
thought
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, seriously.
So
That
he
was
has
the
the
net.
whole. He has the pen the whole time. He could have just ended him when he was sleeping
when he
on
was
the
sleeping,
chair.
yeah.
Bro, just shank, jailhouse style. Done.
I mean, he eventually gets them, so it all works out.
Well,
I
the
guess.
thing is, a lot of times, Ralph, there's a thing called what's it called, Stockholm syndrome, where the captives will not want to do harm to their captors, and so that could be a psychological aspect too, where he just doesn't want to engage him, doesn't want to hurt him.
I don't know if that happens overnight. I know it happens, when they're taking care of you, and you have to look at them for protection at that point. But
Well, he did
wasn't
give him
even.
eggs.
Eggs and Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eggs and
Right.
Sprite.
Yeah.
What a
But
breakfast.
how great was that scene though, with what's his face sleeping and him trying to get out? That was so tense.
Yeah.
such
Yeah, it
a
was pretty
Dude,
good.
Ethan Hawke was like level 11 on creepy factor. Like he was.
Yeah, I
he
love
was
Ethan
really
Hawke in this
good.
movie. I love him in most things he does too. I think he
I'd agree
was
with
really
that.
the best part of this movie.
I mean, he's the best part of this movie, but really, when you think about that acting, it's just Michael Jackson in a Guy Fawkes mask.
That's exactly right, Joey. I was about to say it. God damn it, you got there
Yeah.
first. It is so Michael Jackson-ish, if that's even a word. It just rings of him whenever he first meets him. He's got that white face on, and he's just very flamboyant. You know what I mean? And it's not overly done. He's not
He
like
grabs his crotch and is like,
yeah, he doesn't do any of that. But it is very Michael Jackson-like. And it's crazy. And then the idea that Michael Jackson took care of so many children and took them with balloons to his whatever Neverland or whatever the fuck it was called. And it's kind of creepy. And I kept wondering that because there was small hints of flamboyancy within his character. And the mask, as he changes the mask and the way
That's
they
cool.
look, and they're rearranged,
that.
they're different attitudes of the demon that has possessed him, basically, that's making him do this thing. You know what I mean? So when he first takes it on the basement, it has that blank mask where it doesn't have a mouth
so
at all.
creepy.
And then it has the smiling mask after that where he's in a good mood about stuff. Then his brother shows up, and afterwards it's always the sad
mask was
mask.
awesome.
Yeah.
The mask was awesome.
And Tom
can we just
Savini
say
is
that
actually
this
the
is
one who
like-
made the mask. So Horror
Who?
Master Tom Savini.
Tom
you have to
Savini.
thank that for
Okay.
that. Sorry, Joey, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, can we just say this whole movie though is anti-magician propaganda? David
really is.
knows Confetti Eddie, great guy.
Yep.
One of my best friends, Richie's a magician. Like I would have believed this way more if the guy was a clean comedian.
Yeah.
Like, that-
Cruise ship comic.
Oh, or Christian comic.
Yeah, Chris.
Oh my God.
So speaking of Michael Jackson, this is going to come across really bad, shocking coming from me. But were any of you kind of disappointed that they didn't explore the raping? The fact that don't you think that this guy was raping these kids?
Yes, he 100% was.
And they don't really mention
No,
it.
no,
And
no,
I
they
think-
do, because there's a subtle line where he goes, "I'll never do anything you wouldn't like," and hinting to
yeah,
it. So
that's
he's
right.
hinting to the fact that he's going to.
I guess I
do
just needed
things.
more, you know.
Yeah,
and
no,
like
no,
the
no.
shirt off, the belt off, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, the
It's like a
term,
cuckold.
Naughty boy.
yeah, the naughty boy, definitely. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're a naughty boy.
Yeah, 100%.
So
And
Okay,
not
okay,
not
I'm
racist
better
enough, not
Yeah.
rapist enough. So we 2 strikes, Black Phone.
Hey, not enough blood, not enough gore.
not enough gore. Is that what you're gonna say, Raph? Not enough gore in
Yeah,
this.
not enough gore.
I think it's more of a thriller than a horror movie, but it's definitely got.
I'd agree.
Raph really likes to see the insides of his dead children in the film.
I think-
that's really
God,
marks-
Jesus
that's what-
Christ.
I think you cut out the cursing. This could be PG-13. almost.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
mean,
So- Where you can see another aspect Stephen King had something to do with was when the hero, which you think is going to be the brother, comes down and then gets a fucking axe on the head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
All
was
right,
that
never
was.
mind. You
what
probably
was
couldn't
that,
PG-13 it.
No.
I never thought that guy was going to be a hero.
He was
That's
gonna crack the
James
case,
Ransom.
though.
He did. He did crack the case.
Well,
Did anyone-
the thing is, he played the cop in Insidious, so
Yeah.
it would be even more on the nose if he cracked the case again. Even though this movie is so much, pretty much a side story to Insidious.
Dude,
I
it did-
love that
which was
when-
great. I loved Insidious. That was a
Good,
good
Alex.
I love that when he found the kid, he was more interested in telling him a story than he was
Yeah.
in walking him up the stairs. He's like, "Hey, you want to know how I found you?"
Didn't have big like that guy. If it was modern day film, he's one of the stop the steal kind of guys. Like trying
Yeah.
to figure out how the
For
election was
sure.
stolen, doing a bunch
Yep.
of lines, looking at his board with the strings and pins connecting it.
He comes downstairs. He's like, "Hey kid, you ever hear of Dominion voting systems?"
That's where
What
our
was-
votes went. All our votes
Yeah.
are in this basement.
I'm sure you've heard of Venezuela. Did you know that their dead dictator was anybody else? Did anyone else catch the Silence of the Lambs twist ending, or where they were in the different house? That kind of confused me.
I hated that.
All right, they overly ADR'd it to explain it to the audience, because on my second
Yeah.
watching of it,
Yeah.
I don't know if they had this in the theatrical version, but the cops literally say in the version I watched today, this is where he's hiding the bodies. Oh, he had a separate house. And I think they
Yeah.
added that. I don't think that was in the theatrical.
No, that
that
was in the
was
theatrical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of
And also,
confused, man.
How's this guy able to pay 2 sets of rent on a part-time?
Yeah.
And
Magic
why-
is booming.
well, he inherited this house. This house was inherited because he says he was,
Yeah.
put in the basement or at least saw the basement when he
Right.
was a child.
That's right.
Everything.
So-
Yeah.
Dude, but if I'm a
Also-
detective on this case and I notice, like, the first thing I'm going to see is, okay, guy owns 2 houses but chooses to just let his brother live in his. Like, that dude would be across the street all day.
Oh, and also has a black van.
Yeah, blacked
I
out
have
windows.
so many problems with this movie when it comes from like the mystery solving
Go
perspective.
for it, Alex. What
because
are your problems?
there are so many points where the cops could have. I mean, like, by the second kid, they probably would have found this guy. He's a guy that drives around in a black van, wears a top hat, and he carries black balloons with him. And for some reason, the cops knew about the black balloons part. I mean,
You're right.
It would not be hard to put together that this creepy guy that lives alone.
You're definitely like the worst. You're the worst cops ever when you're resorting to a little girl
with
for her
ESP.
psychic ability.
It was like a fucking South Park episode.
It was the
gaslighting
80s.
it was.
Also,
was
that
like a
ending
Stephen
where
King
he has
book.
the second house that could have totally been like left out, and it would not have mattered how he disposed of the bodies. I mean, he could have been leaving them in ditches on the side of the street for all we fucking care. I mean, the fact is that he was getting away with killing children. That ending didn't change anything. It wasn't much of a twist.
They even tried to do like the fake out where like there's nothing here. Oh wait,
That was a Silence of the Lambs thing.
So
where
they kind of
they're in
wanted
the
to
wrong
do an
house.
homage to Gacy, is what it was with
for
burying
sure.
the children under the house, because that's what Gacy
Sure.
did. And also with him escaping at least once, that is a Dahmer situation, because Dahmer had a kid escape, actually went to the police, and then he said he was like his babysitter or something and got him back. It was fucking insane. And that scene where he's outside too, and he's like, "I'll gut you like a pig," and then
Oh my
choke you
God,
with the
that's so
intestines.
Strangle
I
you
was
with your intestines.
like, you believe
Yeah,
it.
that
Like,
was pretty good.
That's what
Yeah.
he will do right now. Like, and that's what Ethan Hawke is just killer in this movie. And I know horror movies don't usually get Oscar nods. I'm curious to know if he will get one in a year that's so, you know.
I'll put 50 down that he won't.
Okay.
Yeah, he won't.
That's lame. That's lame. He's due for one. He's due for one because he's been working his ass off for years, and he's taken on interesting roles.
If he didn't get a single Oscar nomination for the Before trilogy, which is three of like the greatest movies that Linklater ever made, I don't know if he's going to get it for Black.
Or Training Day. He was great in Training Day.
Training Day was amazing.
He was good. Denzel owned Training Day.
Oh yeah, it was hard to go up against Denzel.
I'm curious though. He's 51. He said he's on the last legs of his acting. You know, I'm curious if he goes for that role though that would put him in an Oscar territory because he's an hell of an actor.
He's done it, man. He was in Boyhood. I mean, Linklater, Boyhood, and before. Like, if you look up Before Sunrise, Sunset, and
those were with Julie Delpy.
Yeah, all three of those movies are in the mid to high 90s on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Not a loser in the bunch. They're fucking phenomenal. And he did it 3 times, and they're like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like when guys without Oscars start saying they're on their last legs, that's kind of like the that's a hint to the industry.
Hey guys,
you know? It's
come
like,
on,
yo,
guys.
I'm not stop when I get it. Like, start casting. Movies.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I almost see Ethan Hawke as like the type that would just keep like he might change his type of role that he takes, but I think he's like gonna die filming a role at some point, just because he's that type that he. I don't see him as the type that's just like gonna go disappear on an island or something. He's like a passionate, like artistic actor who's always pursuing things.
Yeah,
he's got a pretty damn good career. Career.
Well, we haven't talked about the black phone itself, the twist, the ringing of the phone, and the Raph is. Fucking eyes just rolled out of his head. Jesus Christ. What was your issue with the phone?
I fucking hated it, bro. When he became the Sixth Sense, I was so annoyed. I was like, fuck no. And then there were different kids calling, and I'm like, why can't y'all just talk to him in the dream? Like, you know, why the fuck does the phone have to ring? Just
because he doesn't have that power. He has the power to hear the phone.
Yeah. How? Okay, explain to me how this Astro World phone works.
It's just a conduit. He doesn't need the phone, but he sees his sister getting bullied for her dreams. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he shut off the power, and he's got the power. So the phone is just a conduit. It's just a vessel in which he uses to connect to his psychic powers.
But then if you put sand in the phone, it doesn't work anymore.
It still worked. He still was. I mean, literally, his buddy Robin, when he's teaching him how to smack with the phone, like he's like front, back. Step back, go forward.
No,
snap.
but he hadn't put the sand in.
But he said that was
but the phone still does work because the grabber hears it whenever he goes, it's for you,
right.
and then he pulls up to the grabber. It's just a conduit.
But they also told him it's the final phone call. Like they made sure to put that in just in case.
Yeah, well, They also ran out of dead kids to talk to him. So
I love the fact that they don't know their names. I thought that was really cool. The way he's
Yeah,
like,
they're
that
drifting.
was
they're
cool
fading.
little lore building.
They're
Yeah.
fading away.
he's like,
Yeah.
So
I
I
like,
remember
that's the first
everything
thing.
else about Finney, like the most forgettable kid, which I thought.
Yeah, I had a problem with
No.
that though.
But they
Alex.
did save the coolest kid for the last though.
Yeah,
With Robin.
With
Robin.
yeah, he was badass.
Yeah.
And I love his.
No, not him. The rebellious kid. The one that fucked that kid up on
Boy.
with the
On the
pinball.
pinball.
Oh, that
thing.
was
Yeah.
the fourth kid. Yeah. That was.
Oh, okay, well, he
He
was
looked like a-
Pinball Vance.
He
I
looked like a new character in Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did like how he had acted out right beside the bed in the basement, and then when they cut back, you see all the actions he weren't doing weren't actually random, but it was him for instance kicking the door in, and we just saw him kicking, and we're like, what the hell is happening? But then when it goes back, you're like, oh, I thought that scene was really cool.
And I love the
Right.
fact that it's all missing pieces of the puzzle. Everything that the kids before him set up like dominoes, he was able to knock down finally. And he was given more time too because his brother shows up and when he comes downstairs and he's like, things are just not going the way I want them to, and he's really having a moment where he's expressing it's complicated. I think he says it's complicated, and so usually he has all this time to do terrible things to the children. That's horrible to say. And with this one, he doesn't. He has to really, pick his moments, but it's still creepy.
We also talk about just the nod to how good of a movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre is. That when Robin calls him, he goes, "Remember what I told you?" And all this kid can think about is he's gonna die without seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep.
It's I still need to see this movie.
So, Alex, you didn't like the phone stuff either?
Well, so I didn't actually have a problem with the black phone itself. I more had a problem with how it was used in the end. I just don't find it believable. Okay, everything leading up to him snapping his ankle, fine. I don't find it believable that this kid whooped this grown man's ass with a phone and broke his neck with the cord.
You obviously have never had a phone from the 70s, bro. They were made of
I guess so.
titanium. Well, you know what's interesting is the actor, the kid is from Dallas. They had to show him how to use a rotary phone. He didn't know. He was like,
fucking
what the fuck
Zoomers
do I
don't
do
get
with
it,
this?
man.
I know. I was like, what is this thing? And it was hilarious.
It's fun because I grew up at my grandparents' house and my house. We had rotary phones, and I just remember thinking, why would they put 911 as the emergency number? It takes forever for that 9 to click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes forever.
I was thinking that, let's say they had put this in modern times, but it was still the old phone in there. Just how funny it would be the ghost kids or millennials and just give up because they don't know how to contact the kid. They're like, oh, I don't know how to use this shit.
I can't Instagram this, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
How many followers will my rescue get?
Well, Raph, do you have a list?
Oh, bro, I do.
All right, what you got?
I just hated this movie so much.
Hey, me too, man. Me too.
Bro, I had so many problems with him with digging and then getting rid of the dirt like he was El Chapo.
All right,
bro,
he did. He didn't get his shirt dirty at all. He never got dirty.
Oh.
That's what I kept thinking.
From somebody who digs holes all the time, I'll tell you that was fake. He would have obviously been dirty, and him not having any calories would have made himself faint. So then Ethan Hawke would have walked in on him in the hole, and then it was just so retarded. So let me go down this list. I hated this movie 40 minutes in. I felt like Ethan Hawke's character was a gay cuckold or a child molester cuckold. Because he wanted the kid to come up there when he was shirtless and he was ready to beat him. I'm like, oh man, this movie's about to get nasty. But he didn't. Not enough or not any gore other than the black and white movie they were watching.
The Tingler.
The Tingler.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
And then the axe in the head. That's pretty gory.
So my favorite part would be when the girl hits the kid with the rock. I really thought that kid was going to die.
Yeah,
She's
the
just
blood was
sitting next
squirting
to
out
him.
of his head.
Yeah, that was that was gory. You know what the problem is, Rob? We just got done watching that movie last week.
Exactly.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
which
the
was
sadness.
the
Sweet Jesus.
See, the thing is, these kids,
No spoilers.
Joey. Thanks,
these
Joey.
kids could kick ass, dude. There were roundhouse kicks, suplexes, rocks to the head, and you can't take on a fucking magician.
Somebody was getting ass kicked.
The weakest of entertainers. Yes.
And way too many allies. There's way too many allies in this movie. Like the kid who just fucking scored on him with that massive home run's like, your arm is fire. We're gonna be besties. Nope, I'm gonna die.
I'm dead.
But then the real evil boys are just like, God, they look like they came out of a Christmas story. Like,
Oh, I got that
just,
vibe too, Jay. I totally got the
Yeah.
Christmas story vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Very
if you look back on bullies, though, you did have bullies like Moose, who were the big guys who needed to be taken down by the little guy. But most
Oh, yeah.
bullies were never the big guys. Most bullies were just random, you know? Like, my biggest bully was like 1/3 my size.
Gotta disagree. Our boys in Plano were the football team. I know this because I was on the football team.
So you were a bully. Oh, I see.
No, I was more like bully adjacent.
Yeah.
I was a manager.
Bully adjacent.
Remember,
That sounds like a great podcast.
Bully adjacent.
Bully adjacent.
All right, Raph, what else you got?
Oh yeah. So I really did think it was bad writing when the ghost would say he hasn't slept, but he's passed out. You can get by him. I'm like, bro, then that means he's asleep. Don't be lying. I really did like the little girl's acting. I thought it was great. My favorite was when she's like, Jesus, what the fuck? After she's been asking. And then another scene I had a problem with was a pinball guy carving that guy up and then just gonna go back and play his pinball game.
Okay, that didn't really happen. That was a dream segment, and it was to give away the number of the house. So it was repeating the number of the house.
I
So
was
he probably
a dream.
didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
was
he
like,
probably
is it flashback?
He probably didn't really carve up that kid. Would be what happened there. So, like I said, it was just supposed to reiterate the number of the house to her.
And then the final thing would be I hated the stupid ass Home Alone ending. I just hated it.
I wrote down Home Alone ending too.
Boom.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I did
say I love Home Alone. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, one of the greatest films ever made.
Pretty much.
Chris Columbus classic. Yeah, no, I thought the movie was good. Does anyone have anything else they want to bring up about it specifically? Things that bothered them, things they liked?
I grew up in that time period. That was when I was a kid, and they fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you notice my favorite thing on the phone in the house were the phone numbers next to the phone?
Oh
Because
yeah,
everyone
writing that
remembers
shit
that,
down.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead,
I
Alex.
just wanted to say I think this movie's biggest problem was its writing. I thought a lot of the like main actors did good. I feel like a lot of the kid actors did bad. I don't want to rag on kids too much though. I mean they're little kids, but like I thought the writing was super awkward. I mean, and I brought it up a couple of times where like. I mean, like even you guys brought it up. Like any time that girl's acting felt bad, I feel like it was because it was just written bad. She was delivering it great. I mean, and there was that part where she pulls out like a wooden Jesus fish and prays in front of it. Like nobody fucking does that. There's just a lot of awkward dialogue, a lot of like just weird moments that feel like that just weren't natural.
See, I like that. I like that she pulls out multiple things because she doesn't know which one actually connects her to Jesus. So she has a.
She kind of swears him off at one point,
Yeah.
and then like kind of like backtracks on it. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It was just a weird, like, I don't know. I felt like it was extra. I felt like it was useless information. I felt like there was some stuff in this that could, like, 13 minutes of this movie could have just gone out and it would have been fine, you know?
See, I feel the opposite. I feel like it's a tight movie, but somebody said it's edited weird. Who said that earlier? David?
Oh, it was my issues were with the scene of him, the whole scene of the window thing, where it just felt like you set something up and you really didn't explain it later. And
Right.
also I felt like it felt like Ethan Hawke gave that kid way too much time alone. Like that kid was doing a lot of shit.
Well,
down in
he
that
had a
basement.
brother that was high on coke he had to take care of. Plus, he had to go to work. So.
He has gigs, dude. He's
Yeah, he got a gig. He got a really good gig salad gig where
Plus-
he was getting
plus,
booked for
man.
exposure.
You know, hey, look, he's all art's all about the journey, guys, not the destination. So, like, he's already got Finn. He's got to work on the next kill. So he's doing recon. He's waiting for the kid to become naughty boy. His docket is full.
I wanted to say one more thing about the awkward writing. The names in this movie, like the Grabber and Naughty
I
Boy,
hated the
like
Grabber.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
I love it.
it felt like this was like written by babies, like or for babies. You know, the grabber. We want to play Naughty Boy.
I'm a baby
Like-
then. I love that name. I thought it was epic.
I don't
and-
know.
Yeah, dude. I
hated
thought
that
the
name.
villain.
I don't know.
of
When
the
you
name
compare
was
it,
great.
when you compare it to actual serial killer names that were given to them by the media, I mean, it's just so.
Name one that's
it-
even better than the.
Yeah. Seriously.
The Night Stalker.
Oh,
Zodiac
whatever.
Killer.
Fucking
Richard
awesome.
Ramirez can go
Yeah, Night
the
Stalker's
Zodiac
badass.
Killer.
Zodiac Killer's really
Boston
good.
Strangler.
The Grabber
Yeah.
was the real killer. You can just look up the Grabber. That was the real killer.
Well, if you know, it takes place in Denver, right?
yeah.
Sure.
And what do they? And like they say, like if you molest kids, you diddle. So they should have called him the Denver Diddler. That would have been a
That would've been hilarious.
much more. The Denver Diddler.
Guys,
Then
we
he turns-
have come to we need to rewrite this movie. More
Yeah.
Denver
N-word,
Diddler.
more raping, and it's the Denver Diddler.
Not enough raping, not enough gore.
Yeah, we need more gore.
And I'm not saying I'm pro racism. I'm just saying if we're gonna be, true to the time period,
Authentic. If we're gonna be
it
authentic.
needs to be authentic.
We need
Quentin
to get
Tarantino is writing
Tarantino.
it.
Yeah, Tarantino's writing it again.
And he's
With
playing
Leonardo
the Denver Diddler,
DiCaprio.
and he's
And
going
then
to say
Samuel
the
L.
N-word
Jackson
all
is the cop. Samuel L. Jackson's the cop.
Yep. All right, guys. I think we pretty much talked it out. Raph, did you have one more thing you want to say?
Oh, it was just about the editing. I hated the editing in the beginning where they were doing the still shot, or there was a lot of shots there, and then where it was just going from shot to shot. It actually gave me a headache. And then when he goes into the basement, there was a lot of zooming in and zooming out. It was overplayed. I didn't like the editing either.
Oh, I loved it. All right.
Hey, maybe top 15, top 20 masks in a horror movie. Like, take out
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Jason,
for
take
sure.
out Leatherface, take out Ghostface. I mean, dude, that mask fucking ruled.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think this guy, the Diddler, I think he's going to go down for that design. Plus, like I said, it's Tom Savini. I think it's going to go down in history as one of the greatest masks in movie history. So,
It's iconic.
yeah, it's very good. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at that, the poster sells it, the movie.
Yeah.
Alone. You can see the poster hopefully right now if I'm sharing screen, which I think I am. And it's just so freaking good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But recommend. Do we recommend it? Joey, do you recommend the movie?
Yeah, I recommend it. Sure, I
Fuck
don't
yeah.
mind it.
Miles, do you recommend it?
Yeah, dude, definitely. Ethan Hawke's performance alone is worth seeing it.
Right.
Agreed.
Jay, how about you? Do you recommend it?
I recommend it. I do not think it's the instant classic that you do. I think it is a little bit by the numbers, and again, it's very formulaic to what Scott Erikson does. I thought Insidious and Insidious 2, that's where I think those movies is where it became unique. And like, again, I think this one just kind of falls kind of in that same cinematic universe. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun little ride.
Little
but yeah.
jaunt.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'd go like 6.5 out of 10.
I don't know. David, do you recommend it?
Fuck yeah.
Alex, do you recommend it?
I spent this entire time shitting on it, and I would still absolutely recommend this movie. I think this is a fun movie to get drunk to and yell at with your friends. If this movie is free to watch, and you've got a bunch of friends and you want to have a good time yelling at a bad movie, this is a good one to do it.
Yeah, but
Because
if they've
it's
got a
entertaining
bunch of
background
and
noise.
it sucks.
Dude,
It's
if they've got a
entertaining
bunch of
and it
friends, they're
sucks.
probably not listening to this podcast. So I don't know what's lost on this.
Probably.
I was gonna say, if I watch this with David and we get drunk, he's just gonna scream more rape. Wait, was that David?
This needs more child rape, damn it.
More rape. Raph, do you recommend it?
So when the beaner came out with the bandana, the first thing my girlfriend said was, "Damn, that looks gay," and I got so upset because when I was 13 years old, that's all I would fucking wear.
Yeah.
So I got a little tear there. No, I would not recommend this movie. It was not good at all.
Oh, that's hilarious. I highly recommend it. I've put this in the top 5 for this year of movies I've seen in theaters.
No, you do that a lot. Quit doing that.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. I thought it was great.
Wow.
I can be
Stop doing
quoted.
that.
I can be quoted as saying that I think this was going to be as big as The Sixth Sense, and I stand by that. I think it's going to be along the same.
Well,
lines.
it needs
I
to
don't
make
know.
about
That's-
five. It needs to make about $500 more million. Not adjusting.
Yeah.
Not adjusting to inflation to even come close. So I will humbly
Yeah.
disagree.
But Ducky
Another
is seeing
movie
it
that
again
could've
3
used more
times this
childhood.
weekend, so he'll get there.
God damn, you were not wrong about that, Jay. $672.8 million for The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
In $1999.
God
That's
damn.
$1 billion movie today.
That was back when you
$1
get a
billion
hamburger
movie
for 45 cents.
And that one did confuse the fuck out of you till the end.
Oh, you like The Sixth Sense better?
Yeah.
I 100% personally like the
Yeah,
Sixth Sense
dude.
better.
Sixth Sense. How have we not done the fucking Sixth Sense?
It should
That's
be
what-
in the top 5. We'll get there. All right, guys. Let's get the clips. Arm
awesome.
is mint.
Hey, dude. Man, your arm is mint.
So that
You almost
Asian guy's
hated
like
that.
20 years.
Right.
Is this love?
The arm is mint I hate so much because that's a New York term. Like mint is like an East Coast thing, and they're in Denver, and this kid has said it like 10 fucking times. I don't.
And he's obviously from San Francisco, so of course it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but
Because he's Asian. Because all Asians are from San Francisco in the 1970s.
well, yeah, that's how they built the railroad, Jay. Jesus
oh
Christ.
my God.
The fuck? Do your own research,
doing
bro.
everything the movie didn't.
Racism check.
Hey, I think we're turning into the bad news bears.
Bad
Oh
acid
my
trip
God.
intro. This is what I felt so bad for Miles. I was like, he's got to be freaking out.
Hey Jay, what did that? Jay, what did that intro remind you of? What TV show that we both fucking love?
Walking Dead.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow
Oh,
Jackets.
it does.
But Rap's right. The Walking Dead did do it first.
It does like Yellow Jackets.
Fucking Yellow Jackets is awesome. That's one of the best,
Did you
best
notice
recommendations, Jay.
Did you notice though there was one common motif throughout this entire movie, and it was the backbone of the soundtrack. That would be Pink Floyd's "The Wall" or no, Dark Side of the Moon track 2. And they
didn't notice
actually
that.
played at the end of the movie. But what they do is they actually take that, add it to the soundtrack, and they play it backwards and they reverse it.
yeah.
They slow it down. The entire
That's
movie's
cool.
soundtrack is made entirely a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon track 2. I thought
That's
that was so
awesome.
cool.
Wow, wish they hadn't.
Oh, jeez, Raph. Give it a Moose gets his goose cooked, I guess.
Let's find
So
out.
this kid Moose is from the Righteous Gemstones, man. I fucking love that
Dude,
show.
that show is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
There he said.
And then that Beaner's fucking Bruce Lee.
Unless you're scared.
Wasn't he Danny McBride?
Right.
Ooh.
That's Danny McBride as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Gotta give him a show, man.
Fucks this
Show
kid
the
up.
fucking blood.
I like how
Everybody
just like
gets their ass kicked in this movie.
everybody's so just like rabid about it. They're like, yeah,
Right.
kill that little fucker.
That's how they
At
work
some
that. I mean,
point-
that's how kids are, man. They love
At
that
some
shit.
point, these kids deserve to be kidnapped. Like, just letting them, like almost
were
get
all
murdered
assholes.
on the schoolyard.
The Denver Diddler was trying to do a service because that kid was clearly going to grow up to be a vagrant. He was going to be.
Oh, the good old
Coming out,
days.
dickweed. Not fooling anyone, Noid. Doing in our bathroom.
Shut the
Huh?
fuck up, Carrot
See the
Top.
sign? It says boys.
Joe Hill.
See,
man,
you
he
would
really
fight
takes
back,
sides.
David.
Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm about to start shitting. None of these guys are bullies.
Nope.
None of these three are bullies. These
They're all- they're
are.
in they all look like open micers.
Except these guys have more original material.
Oh, Jay for the win.
Bags.
Oh.
Dipshits. Move. Hey, Finn.
This kid is the worst actor.
You know, just keeping on,
Oh, I
guess.
really thought he deserves an Oscar.
Is this his only part you like in this movie?
Yeah.
Nate?
I fuck you.
I fuck
Wait,
with
no.
you.
Hey, real quick. Did anyone catch a little Atreyu vibes from this kid?
yeah.
too, or
Atreyu.
whatever?
Yes, never-ending story. Totally, man.
Yeah.
Where's that
Except,
fucking
except in
dragon
this
dog at?
one, except in this one, he's Artex
Yep.
because he goes into the darkness
You
and
can
never
leave
comes
now.
back.
Black balloon.
We also found one black balloon at the scene of Griffith
Oh.
Snaggs' abduction.
And we never released those details.
So the question is, where did you hear about the balloons?
Fucking cops being cops, interviewing kids without their parents.
Dude, okay, thank you, Roth. That's what Lindsay said. She was like, that's against the law.
And they're doing it in front of a principal. Like,
yeah, you can't interview kids without their parents.
They probably threaten her.
Telling us, Gwen.
Either there's a leak in the department
Or what? I'm the grabber?
No.
You think I kidnapped Vance Hopper last spring? Is that it? Vance got held back twice. I've seen him fight, and trust me, he could kick the shit out of either of you.
I hate this.
Gwen, watch your
Oh,
language.
hell no.
Yeah, I took him down because obviously I'm the grabber, you dumb fucking fart knocker.
goes, "Get him."
Look at me, I'm cussing.
Fucking 25-year-old.
we love a queen. We stand
I
up.
think the little Princess Leia girl in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series like took her acting from that scene right there.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was saying. The acting's kind of all over the place. Fuck yo,
That's a new trend that I've noticed.
Oh Jesus!
Perfect.
Need some help?
Hans Moleman.
Would you hand me my hat?
But why is his face whited out like that? It's got to be a Michael Jackson reference, right?
Also, why does Finney get closer to the van when he recognizes the black balloon?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Again, at that moment, you're like,
So the
you
movie
deserve
can
to
happen.
get kidnapped.
Yeah. So the story can move forward.
It's in the script.
Why would he just let all these balloons go? Because he's literally just releasing like evidence into the like, and that they could like do a radius of where these things land and be like, oh, he clearly lives
That's what I'm
somewhere
saying.
here.
You could like spot this guy like a mile away.
The
I mean, the
cops were
black
dumb in the
van, the
70s.
black top hat, the black balloons, the fucking weirdo that lives alone in
No,
two different houses.
Alex, everyone knows that killers and serial predators use white vans, not black vans.
Oh, good.
I would
You
have
got
liked
him
to
there.
see
Plus,
like
it says magician on the side, so he was. They were like, "Oh God, it can't be him."
Can't be him.
I want to see the version of this movie where he is not actually a creep and that it's like satanic panic shit. And he's like, dude, I just like the color black. And everybody's like, no, you
That would have been a better fucking movie.
Yeah.
And all he does,
movie.
And what he does, he actually kidnaps kids to get them away from their abusive homes.
Yes. The movie has been rewritten and is now better.
And then he
Now
said
it's a top
China for six flavored Lahona.
I was angry.
I know you're scared, but I'm not gonna hurt you anymore. What I said about snapping your neck,
I didn't like his acting either.
I was angry, so
You're crazy.
I thought his acting was the best.
on my arm.
Like,
I think
why
it's funny
did
that he says. I think it's funny that he says, "I'm not going to snap your neck," because that's what happens to him at the end.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Raph, you gotta start fucking during these movies when you're watching them again, because you used to be a lot more positive about
You're
these
right about
things.
that.
I guess. Now we're even.
Oh, so creepy.
You don't have to
Ew.
be scared, because nothing bad is going to happen here.
Why would he let him keep that pen?
On that I give my word,
I don't think he
Johnny.
noticed he had it.
He got
Stabbed him with
stabbed.
it.
Yeah, he got stabbed, but I think he dropped it. I think Finney
Nah.
kept it secret that he had it the whole time.
No
The phone.
The
shit.
magician was impressed that he made the knife disappear. Like,
Whoa.
It doesn't work.
You're a magician too.
Not since I was
or
a
the
kid.
alliance.
Hang it up.
If you try to touch me, I'll scratch your face. And whoever's coming will see and
This
ask
is
why.
a sick moment. This face.
This face?
Do you think he's learned over the time of kidnapping kids he has to have that mask, or do you think that he's always
Probably.
worn that mask?
You
He
let
scratched
serial killers
the fuck
learn.
underneath
You
that
always
mask,
learn
dude.
from the kills you do.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, it does look old too.
Miles.
Hang up the phone now. I was down here once when it rang. Ooh, creepiest damn thing. I think it's static electricity that does it. It went off. I was right next to it. I picked it up without thinking. To see if anyone was there.
Was there?
No.
The phone rings.
That fucking got me, man. That was so good.
The first time a ghost appears is a good jump scare too.
Oh yeah, it got
great.
me both times.
That was great, dude.
It would have been more realistic if it was a Nokia ringtone.
What is that? Dun, 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 dun.
Why not? First thing you lose when?
In purgatory or what?
You don't learn your ability to be ambiguous about fucking conversation.
Your arm is mint. You almost
Oh, he's gay.
The paper
This
boy.
this whole movie would have been a great AT&T commercial, just about dropping the ball.
Yeah.
You don't lose service even when you cut the cord.
Hello?
Here it is.
Don't go upstairs.
Why
But
not?
then he goes up the stairs. I hated that.
I did hate that part too, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Are you Bruce?
Alright, I'm trying to get you. Come back around.
Here it is.
Who are you?
Oh yeah.
Move.
I don't remember.
Nah, that one did it. The one that got me was the girl upside down.
Yeah. I think it's a good. The Pink Floyd. You
Oh.
can hear it in the background.
Oh yeah, there it is. That's fucking awesome, man.
And like I said, the entire soundtrack is made up of that, so I thought that was pretty cool.
That
then
kid deserved that.
whining.
Yeah. All of us could have made that, right?
Not me. Mom's visions.
Well, what if they, they're...
Raph, I'm telling you, is that you, bro?
He was in Lucifer.
He's a great actor, dude.
Wasn't he in, I think he was in Lost. I don't know if...
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he play Faraday?
Yeah.
Faraday Cage and all that stuff?
He's got creepy eyes.
She saw things and she heard things and she just.
Oh, and the reason, I don't know if I mentioned it, he has to do the 180 is because the cops are watching him.
Oh yeah.
Her
That's why.
dreams meant something, and eventually they told her to do things.
Sleepy villain. I just like this. I just like. Oh, it's the same background as you got, Joey.
Dad?
He's waiting for him to be naughty boy.
The flannel is sick though. His
All I
wardrobe-
could think of, just cuckold. That's all I could think about. He's waiting for his wife to get down being fucked.
We all float down here.
That one right there. I was like, fuck, run.
You would have been out of there?
Yeah, that's
You
a
would have
girl.
found
She's
a
wearing
way out of the
skirt.
window? You would have been like, fuck this. You would have ran over, jumped on the body that was floating, jumped out the window?
Mario just jumped in. It was a longer scene than I remember.
Yeah. Well, I cut it down, too. Got you.
And I will gut you like a pig right here in the street. And strangle you with your own intestines. Nighty-night, naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
I hated
What?
that line. The
Kiss
naughty
Kiss
man.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kiss me, fat boy.
Awkward writing.
Jesus, what the fuck? I mean...
Best line of the whole movie.
That was me when my friend was dead.
Oh,
What
I'm
the
sorry.
fuck?
Aww.
Pinball Vance.
Trust me, Finney Blake. If you knew what you had coming, you'd be fucking terrified. Today's the day, motherfucker!
I'd be pissed, too.
Yeah, I actually liked this character. I thought this kid was cool.
You need a whole
I like the whole
Pinball
game.
Vance
things.
prequel movie, man.
Oh my god! Oh, for
Is it about you? Fuck!
I didn't understand why he got blown away for flipping him off, but
Because it looked cool, Duck.
it did look cool.
Here's what I think. I think his death was probably the most violent. Like, because I think, like,
For
because
sure.
he's so aggressive, like, Ethan Hawke had to really just fucking, go above and beyond.
Yeah, he even says, he goes, I fucked up that wall pretty good, and it took him forever to fix it. No man left behind, evidently. Right, that crying
Hey,
is
buddy.
bad.
Don't cry.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Oh, big boy.
Yeah, you are pussy.
Yeah.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
I'm with you. I've been with you this whole time.
That's
You
creepy.
have?
Gay.
A man never leaves a friend behind.
I watched you.
My dad didn't leave his buddies behind when he went to Nam.
That's a lie, because
Cool
he's a
backstory, bro.
Mexican. His dad left him. His mom was telling him he was at Nam.
Yes. You raise the phone. Take a fast step back. Step forward. Step back.
Eyebrow.
Swing.
So eyebrow.
Spooky.
And he never did that movie.
Like anyone? No?
Somebody left their dead kids all over the road.
Could someone pick up all their dead kids? I'm sick of it.
Axed.
Hey, you want to know the story about how I found you, man?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We can talk about this.
You made me kill my brother.
Nah.
It wasn't me.
He was an idiot, but he was my idiot.
That's a
My
great line.
What a
Come
waste
on.
of perfectly good cocaine. Like, I want to know what happened.
Right?
So where's that cocaine at?
Yeah, that's the sequel I want to see.
Bring it on. Home Alone style.
Oh, that was so good.
Great.
Nasty
Wow,
crap.
so good. So good.
No, not the mask. Don't take the mask off. I do love that he killed him with the cord.
Yes, up. I guess
He
there goes.
broke his
there's
neck.
He
There's
should
your
have
point.
choked him to death with the
That's a
cord.
great
I
line.
think
That's
it's
a great
so
line.
corny.
But there's your point to the whole window scene. Is the grate is what broke his ankle.
Yeah.
in
Gotcha.
that
But-
fall.
But he didn't see it. Like Ethan Hawke, when he went back in there, he didn't see the window crate with
Yeah,
That's the
I get
issue
that,
I
I
had
get
is that
that.
he
Yeah.
wasn't very good. He wasn't a very good captor. He wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So,
But I thought the phone thing, right? This was necessary to kill him like that so we could hear the kids on the other end.
So if he would have decapitated him, then I would have loved it.
Would have bought back the entire movie for you.
With the blood squirt from Sadness just shoots up.
And then fuck him in the eye.
Oh, God.
I think there is a sadness act you can do where you can add that to movies.
Finn is gonna do it for me. Finn's arm is mint.
Yeah.
Nah.
They should have done like a big group high five with all the ghost kids in there.
Yeah.
That was one of my I told Miles this. One of my
That's the end of the
major,
movie.
my,
That's the end of the movie. It's just that still scene.
And
My
then
one
they
major
jump up, they
issue.
high five, and it freezes.
Yeah, that's it.
my one major issue is when he's walking upstairs that you don't see all the ghost kids behind him. That bothered me. I thought that would have been better as he
Like a
walked.
Star
Yeah.
Wars, like a Star Wars ending, like Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Force Ghost, man.
They all give him an approving
Force
nod.
Ghost.
Dude, don't worry. When the director goes back and remakes these in a few years, they'll just digitally add all that shit in
Yeah.
Mhm.
and take out the guns.
All right, this is the most important question. Why is this teacher peeing in the corner?
Huh?
What is he doing there?
What the
Oh,
fuck?
I never saw that.
Do you see this?
Yeah, that was funny.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Being a naughty boy.
Was he a ghost?
Why is he peeing in the corner? What is he doing? The
Maybe
only thing he could be
he's
possibly
talking.
doing is.
Maybe it's
Sorry,
a
good.
doorway. He might be talking to someone. He's got that cat.
Yeah, his leg is crossed.
Oh.
I never pee with my legs crossed like that, but I'm not judging.
That's the only way I can pee.
No, there's no doorway
But
there.
no, it's a wall.
It's weird.
The only
That's
thing is,
weird,
I was
dude.
thinking he has to be by like a water fountain, right? But
No, it's a door.
there's no door
It's
there.
a glory hole. It's a
It's
fucking
the
glory
opposite
hole.
way. Look at this one. The white tile on this one. It's on that side too. So you're not seeing the door. Go a little bit further.
There's no door there, Ralph.
Nope,
No,
it's
you
a
don't
glory
see the
hole.
door.
Yeah, I see the
You
door.
know-
I see the
Yeah.
I see the doorway. I
It's
see
a
what he's
door.
talking about.
All
One
right.
of
You
the
know
black
that- you know this
kids
is in the-
called him.
You know this
One
is
of the
in the
kids called him
70s.
and was like, I carved out a glory hole in the wall. With a bottle cap. There's a glory hole I carved out with a bullet.
All right, guys, that was the Black Phone. So let's do some recommendations. I figured we'd recommend some stuff that is done by other famous authors' children or offspring. So
Okay.
my first recommendation will be World War Z. Max Brooks, son of Albert Brooks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's not the son of Albert. He's the son of Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks, thank you. I apologize. Mel Brooks. Yeah, this movie isn't great, especially in the third act, but there's some really cool stuff done in it. Definitely the walls and walls, that was pretty sweet. The walls and walls of zombies and the horde mentality of climbing on top of each other. The video game's interesting to play if you've never played it. It's you can get it sometimes free on Epic. But yeah, I think it's an alright movie to check out. Is it a horror movie? I don't know, but it's a horror.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. So the next one,
it's zombies, Doug. God, that's like your favorite question. Is this a horror movie? Yes, it's a fucking horror movie.
It's only PG-13. I'm like Raph. I need to be that hard R. Next one will be Mom and Dad Save the World.
Easy, bro.
Definitely not a horror movie, but an amazing film. If you've never seen it, wow, what a fun time. Written by Chris Matheson, son of Robert Matheson. Yes, this movie. Has anyone seen it? Jay, I know you've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, Joey, you've seen it. Are you guys fans?
Yes, I lived in the 90s.
Yeah, John Lovitz.
I did too, but missed this one.
You've missed this one?
This was this was the ultimate two piece. You'd watch this and Stay Tuned back to back.
I was literally gonna say this reminds me of Stay Tuned, and I love Stay Tuned, but like
this is where you take acid, Miles. This is the movie to.
Consider the fact it stars a pedophile.
Oh,
yeah, you kind of got to look past that part.
Wait, who?
Beetlejuice.
The father.
Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huge
I thought you meant John Lithgow, and I was like, what? I've never heard that.
Yeah, John Lovitz.
Yeah, wrong one. But,
Wrong John.
Wrong John.
Oh,
I know them all so well, you know.
Wrong John Silvers. That's for me.
If you get a chance, this is 90s fucking.
Is that Terry Garr?
Dude, it's got everyone in it.
Wow.
Everyone's in this movie. It's got the kid from Salute Your Shorts in it. Yeah, it's got everyone in it. All right.
Budnick? It's got Budnick?
Budnick, yeah. So, do you guys have any recommendations?
I went with the Mask theme because I was obsessed with the Mask, but I didn't want to go Jason. I didn't want to go any of the some of the underrated ones. I mean, Peach Fuzz and Creep. So I recommend Creep with Mark Duplass.
Love Creep.
If you haven't seen that, that's very solid. And that werewolf Peach Fuzz mask is terrifying. And The Strangers, because those are fucking awesome.
Oh,
masks.
so good.
Yeah.
So I went with the Mask theme. So those are my two.
Anyone else got anything under the Mask theme?
I'm gonna go with the kids disappearing in balloons and go with the remake of It.
Yeah. I know the first part's pretty good. I never watched the second part. So I don't know.
Did not like
Really?
the second part. Loved the first part.
You never finished it?
Never finished it. The first one freaked me out.
That's crazy.
First one's great.
That's crazy.
I like the first one better, but I think they're both very, very watchable and kind of need to be watched together.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
Going with the kidnapping theme, I want to say Clockwork Orange.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite romantic comedies.
Also, also keeping the rape thing going.
Yep. I guess going with serial killers, a much better movie about a serial killer would be Maniac, the original Maniac, not the remake.
Oh, you don't like the remake?
I mean, I believe no. I mean, like the remake is okay. It's watchable. It's fine.
The remake is almost more like an art house film.
Yeah. I feel like the oritional is like it's like up everyone's
so
alley.
Grindhouse, man.
Blood, guts. I mean, I mean, it's got so many good kills. It's
Tom
classic.
Savini. Tom Savini doing the now. Who the director was the same guy that starred in it?
No, I can't remember his name.
No, you're wrong. Nope, not true.
What is it?
No, the director was different than the guy who started it. I just looked it up like a week or so ago.
Joseph Spino? Is it Joe Spino?
Yeah, it's the guy. Yeah, because it's the guy who did Maniac Cop, directed it.
So Joe Spino, he did the screenplay and story by, but he didn't direct it. William Lustig.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Same thing. That's the guy from Maniac Cop and all those bad boys. I think I'm right. And he did Uncle Sam. He did Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Right.
Maniac Cop 2 and 3.
I gotta recommend. This movie came out in 2018. It's very much a sign of the times. It's it revolves around kids and whatnot. It's a phenomenal movie. I think it's still on Shudder. It's called Summer of '84.
Oh, really I love that movie, dude.
It's very much in this same vein.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely. It's to me, it's better than The Black Phone. But you know, teach their own. Watch it and decide for yourself.
Summer of '84 would be a
I've
good
wanted
one
to
to do
see
on
that.
this,
I've really
on
wanted.
this podcast, honestly.
Yeah, I've wanted to see that. I've always missed it somehow.
Dave, I'd love to watch it with you sometime. You want?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm fucking down for that.
I got one in the like staying with like the child abduction specifically. This movie is really divisive. Like some people really love it, some people really hate it. It's called Megan is Missing.
Oh my god,
super fucked up, way more fucked up than this movie. And it's found footage, which is obviously some people's not their cup of tea. So.
That is a slow fucking burn.
It is a very slow burn. But when it does ramp up, oh my god, ugh, yeah,
great payoff.
It sticks with you.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, let's tell them where they can find you. David, let's start with you. Where can they find you on the internet? Shows coming up.
I will be on a show with Miles. Thanks for putting me on the show, buddy. I got a couple of friends coming out already. August 4th at DCC. Is that correct? At 8 o'clock.
Dude, 8 o'clock.
And then if you want, go over to Curiosities over by White Rock Lake and check out my creepy art. Or on Facebook, you can see my stop motion movies at Stop Motion Nightmares.
That new one was awesome too, so definitely go check those out.
Thanks, man.
Joey, where can they find you? You got any upcoming shows?
As you can see by my name, Joey Quits Comedy is the social media. That's Twitter, Instagram. The ones I'm excited. I got a lot of shows coming up. The ones I'm excited about for the nerds out there. I got a Marvel show at the Red Room in Hyenas.
Hell yeah.
The comics dress up as a Marvel character. You do material based off of that.
Who you gonna be, dude?
I'm gonna be Gambit. So that's August 14th.
Oh, badass.
Nice.
Anybody want a po' boy?
I'm gonna go with the angle of him being a gambling addict. So that'll be fun. Then I got Basement Manifesto, which is my live podcast in the Red Room. August 26th, and then I'll be at the Addison Improv. If you didn't get your fill of rape and racism like you guys wanted from the movie, it's a dirty show. It's the dirty show at Addison Improv. So it's September 17th. So Joey Quits Comedy. I'll be posting.
Dirty at 11:30.
Very nice. Raph, where can they find you?
It's the baby strangulation that I was missing.
Oh my
god. RFLSON on YouTube.
Right on. Alex, you got anything you want to pimp?
Yeah, follow me at Action Bastard Reviews on Instagram. I'm working on a review right now, so hopefully I should have that up in like a week or so.
Right on. And then Miles, where can they find you? You got shows coming up?
Yeah, I've got a show coming up, the one David mentioned, next Thursday at DCC or Dallas Comedy Club. I also have the Improv next Wednesday at Addison there. And then a clean comedy show on the 10th, so y'all can officially like boot me off of the podcast at that point. Yeah. And then you can follow me everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off.
In the podcast.
Oh yeah. I also have a podcast. It's I'm really good at promoting it. It's a Simpsons podcast called Best Darn Diddly, and that's DIDDLY.
Right on. And you can find us at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. Check out our social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at /WeArePodcast Network. And you can find us every Monday for Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live at 8 p.m. Central, live on Twitch, except for next Monday, because next Monday is First Monday, which, Jay, are you managing that this Monday?
I am hosting it. We do not call it managing. We call it hosting. I will be your host with the most, making my triumphant return after 3 months. We're gonna have a good time, and Duck's gonna be there whether he likes it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
My job relies on it, so I just got
told. So far, this one has the highest pre-sales. As of 2 weeks out, we have 40 tables already reserved.
Dude, fucking people love it, man. People absolutely love it.
Once a month, man. We're never changing that, man. Once a month. That's the way to go.
Smart. Very smart.
We might do a midnight movie. We're going to discuss this. We'll find out more. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Keep horror in your heart. Keep it there. Thank you guys all for being here. We appreciate it. And with that said, I'm going to cut the feed.